Edward Joseph Cannon. I am an SES with the Navy. So moving to Italy the first time was probably a very large step for me and my wife. My wife and I had been married for a year and had no thoughts, no discussions at all about ever going overseas. I just assumed I'd work at Willow Grove. That's where my family lived nearby, and it was a nice job. It was paying the bills. I was able to buy a little car, so what else did I need? So until my boss told me that it might be a good idea to try overseas, I hadn't even thought about it. So talked to my wife, and she said, yeah, why not? Let's give it a try. And so we went over to Naples, just the two of us, and I remember immediately being excited because, I guess occupied, because I was in work every day and I had at the time about 100 employees under me, and so I could keep occupied with work. I came home probably after maybe the 5th day of work, the 2nd week of work, and my wife was crying, saying, I don't know why we came here, there's nothing for me to do, I'm scared. There was a lot of excitement going on at the time in Libya, which is not too far from Italy, and so there was some scary moments there, especially for someone who has a lot of time on their hands initially. But after a very short while, she got a job, and that right off the bat helped. Got to meet more people. Once I got more involved with my work, I met people at work. We became family friends with each other, and those maybe initial tears of not wanting to be there 4 years later were tears of not wanting to leave. So you kind of go through that process of why am I here to why don't I stay here? And so worked out great. My daughter I wound up having a daughter in Naples. So she was born in Naples and spent a couple years there. So she went to military child care. Got to be involved in some of the programs there as well, and then we moved to London, where I have a son born in London, and so now that changed the whole dynamic. Now I'm a young dad, we're involved in childcare, involved with school activities, and made it we felt even more part of the community as we kind of inculcated with the rest of the community there. After that, I went to Naval Activities United Kingdom in London, England. There I was the MWR director. I mentioned earlier about mentors and bosses, and my boss in Naples actually took a job in London and called me up after he got there and said, Ed, we have an opening and I'd really love to have you come here. I think you could help me. And he said, let's keep it kind of quiet, but I'm thinking of retiring fairly soon. So no promises, you always have to apply for the jobs, but there's a chance if you do a good job that a promotion could be in the offing, if you will. And sure enough, about a year after I got there, he decided that he was going to retire, and I applied for the job and had an interview at the XO of the base and a couple other people on it, and for some crazy reason they liked me, so they hired me. I became the MWR director there in London, and so even if I wasn't even enticed by the potential for a promotion, I knew that after spending 4 years in Naples, it was time to try something new and to see another part of the Navy, but I wasn't quite ready to come back to the States yet. So London seemed like the perfect place. I also had some personal motivations in the sense that my parents were both born and raised in Ireland, and I have some relatives in England, and I may not be a geography major, but I knew that London was a little closer to Ireland than Italy, so it wound up offering me a great opportunity from a personal standpoint as well. So I got to enjoy 3 years there as first the deputy MWR director and then the MWR director. And United Kingdom was unique in the sense that we had bases in Wales and Scotland and in England proper. And so it gave me a chance to again see a different environment and see the community relations that we had with that part of the world as well. So lots of reasons for going there. It was mainly because of career, but certainly not many people think that it's a bad idea to live in London for a little while, and I got to really enjoy that. In London, we lived in what they call flats, but a single standalone house, probably about 1,200 square feet, so not real large, but nice backyard, and then it backed up to a farm where we had cows, and in fact one time left our back gate open, came home, and there was a cow in our backyard. So we were definitely kind of in the countryside outside of London, but a very comfortable house, and great for raising our children.